Okay, so at this station we're going to be going over observations, scientific questions, inferences a little bit, and then hypotheses. So for this first section, I want you to fill in the blank and then circle the answers here. Go ahead and pause this video. Okay, an observation, you should have paused this video by now and have all of this section done. An observation is using your 5 senses to get information. Okay, circle the observation which you think is best. The soccer ball is smooth. I see the soccer ball. I smell the soccer ball. I feel that the soccer ball is smooth. So right here, this is a pretty good observation, but we don't have one of the 5 senses, so it's out. Okay, B and C have one of the 5 senses. I see and I smell, but they don't describe the soccer ball at all. This is giving me no information. I see the soccer ball. Okay, congratulations, you see the soccer ball. Not that great. I know nothing now. I smell the soccer ball. Same thing, like congratulations, you smell the soccer ball, but how does it smell? I still don't know. Okay, so D, I feel that the soccer ball is smooth. I feel is one of the 5 senses, so we're good there, and it's describing the soccer ball. Smooth, it's specific. I feel that the soccer ball is smooth. That gives us information, so this is the correct answer. Okay, a good observation has one of the 5 senses, is specific, and has one adjective or describing word. So I actually should have written circle as many as you need. So I apologize if you were confused and only circled one. All of these are correct. A good observation has one of the 5 senses. It is specific and it has one adjective or describing word. So let's check our observation up here. I feel that the soccer ball is smooth. It has one of the 5 senses, feel. It's specific. It's saying like I felt the soccer ball and it was smooth. So that's pretty specific. And C has one adjective or describing word. Smooth is an adjective, so we're good there. Okay, review topic, scientific questions. So circle all of the scientific questions below. So I know that what is your favorite fruit is not a scientific question, so I'm not going to circle that. Why is the sky blue is a scientific question, so I will circle that one. Go ahead and go one by one and circle if it's a scientific question, and do not circle if it's not a scientific question. Okay, and we're going to be going over the answers now. So if you haven't finished, go ahead and pause this video. Okay, what would happen if I poured vinegar into the rice? Scientific question. How many pumpkins would fill a classroom? Scientific question. What is the scientific name for a turtle? Not a scientific question. Why is a scientific question. How does a bird fly? That is a scientific question. What would happen if we lit the book on fire? That is a scientific question. How much water does it take to put out a fire? That is a scientific question. Okay, underline which words or words makes each scientific question a scientific question. So I'm going to go back in here and underline all the words that make it a scientific question. Okay, so for this one, why makes it a scientific question. Then we have what would happen if. And if you haven't finished, make sure to pause this video. Then we have how many. Why just by itself is a scientific question. How. What would happen if. And how much. If you don't have this exact thing down on your paper, you need to erase what you have and make sure your answers match mine. Okay, our next review topic is inferences, as you can tell, so make sure you're on this page with me. I'm going to read for you. Observation. I observe that the book feels smooth. Scientific question. What would happen if we lit the book on fire? Inference. Circle 1. Now remember, when we make inferences, we're just saying I infer, and then we're answering the scientific question. It's really simple. A lot of people in their experiment made the inference too difficult for themselves. So for the inference, just make sure you have I infer and then answer the scientific question. I'll give you a few seconds to choose the correct one here. Okay, and let's check your answer. If you need more time, please pause this video now. But the scientific question is, what would happen if we lit the book on fire? The inference has to answer that question with I infer. So I'm going to check the answer choices first for the words I infer. So we have I infer here and I infer here, so this one is automatically out. I'm going to just cross that one out. Okay, then for A, I infer that the book will feel rough and hot instead of smooth. Okay, that relates to our observation that the book feels smooth at first and then we're going to light it on fire, so rough and hot kind of works. Let's read C just in case. I infer that the book will turn green. That is not answering, it's kind of answering this scientific question, but it doesn't have anything to do with our observation, and it really doesn't make sense. Like, what book turns green when you light it on fire? I don't know of any. I'm going to circle A. And you should have circled A for this one too. Okay, let's move on. Observation. I observed that the pizza tastes sweet. Scientific question. What would happen if we switched the pizza sauce to a salty sauce? So remember, for our inference, we have to have I infer that, which is already written here, and then we have to answer the scientific question. So go ahead and do that. I'll give you about 45 seconds to do that. Okay, and it's been about 45 seconds-ish. Why don't we go ahead and write something together? If you have something similar to this, that's okay. It just has to have I infer that and answer the scientific question. And of course, it has to make sense too. So, scientific question, what would happen if we switched the pizza sauce to a salty sauce? So I infer that the pizza would or will taste salty instead of sweet. So if you have something similar to that, great. I answer the scientific question, and I have I infer that. I infer that the pizza will taste salty instead of sweet. I even pulled in something from the observation, that taste. Okay, let's do the next one. I see that the soda is clear. What would happen if we put orange food coloring into the soda? Write your inference on the line down below, and go ahead and pause this video because we won't be going over this one together. I want you to do this one on your own. Okay, and you should be on hypothesis right now. I will give you about 10 seconds to complete this first problem. Which two words must always be in a hypothesis? Okay, and we're moving on. All right, let's make a hypothesis. Observation. I observed that the chocolate tastes sweet. Scientific question. What would happen if we add cinnamon to the chocolate? Inference. I infer that the chocolate will taste sweet and a little like cinnamon. So for hypothesis, a lot of people were confused about this as well. Just want to go over it one more time. So for hypothesis, we have already done all of the work that we need to do. We just need to put together what we have into a hypothesis form. So we want to take the if portion of the scientific question. So in this case, it would be if we add cinnamon to the chocolate. Then we add then in our inference. So then the chocolate will taste sweet and a little like cinnamon. So do we have a hypothesis down below that has if we add cinnamon to the chocolate, then the chocolate will taste sweet and a little like cinnamon? So A says if we add cinnamon to the chocolate will taste sweet and a little like cinnamon. That sounds mighty like this one. B, if we add cinnamon to the chocolate, then the chocolate will taste sweet and a little like cinnamon. C, if we add cinnamon, then the chocolate will be red. And I'm going to choose, I think, A. Oh, A does not have a then, so I have to get rid of A. And then this one doesn't include these two things. So our answer is B. We have if we add cinnamon to the chocolate, then we have a then, which this one is missing. Then the chocolate will taste sweet and a little like cinnamon, which is this part. Let's read the next one together. And then I'm going to help you out with the parts to put together, but then you have to write it down. So observation. I observed that the soda tastes like sugar. Scientific question. What would happen if we put salt into the soda? Inference. I infer that the soda will taste like sugar and salt, and the mixture will bubble. So for our hypothesis, we've already done all of the work. We just need to put it together. I'm going to take the if portion from the question, always the if portion from the question. Then we need a then, so add a then. But then after the then, we're going to take our inference that we wrote. Then the soda will taste like sugar and salt, and the mixture will bubble. So go ahead and pause this video so that you can write your hypothesis down on this line. Okay, and if you are not done yet, pause this video. We're going over the answer right now, so you might want to pause, make sure you're finished, so you can check your answer. So the hypothesis in this case would be if we put salt into the soda. Now don't forget we need to add a then. Then the soda will taste like sugar and salt, and the mixture will bubble. Okay, and if you do not have this exact thing, you need to go into your paper and correct your answer. So just those instructions one more time. If you do not have this exact hypothesis, you need to erase your answer and fix it right now. Sorry about that, that's not the bell for you. Okay, so let's read this one together. Observation, I see that the basketball player is tall. Scientific question, what would happen if the basketball player were to shrink overnight or get smaller? Inference, I infer that the basketball player would not be able to dunk the ball anymore. So for this hypothesis, you've already got everything that you need to write down up here. Go ahead and pause this video and write your answer down below. Okay, and you should be done with your hypothesis right now. I'm going to go over the answer. So the if statement, we need an if the basketball player were to shrink overnight. Then we need a then. Then the basketball player would not be able to dunk the ball anymore. So I'm going to write it down right here. See, we have the if from the question, and the then comes from the inference that we wrote. If the basketball player were to shrink overnight. Oh. Then, don't forget to add the then. Then the basketball player would not be able to dunk the ball anymore. Okay, and if you do not have this exact answer, again, if you don't have this exact thing written down, you need to erase your answer and write this exact thing down. Okay, so I'm going to let you do the rest of these on your own. A teacher should be coming around and checking everyone's answers, but if you need help, just refer back to the previous minutes in this video. Everything that you've learned so far can be applied to the rest of the packet. So go ahead and get started. This is the end of the video.